Hi, Larry K, ShadowAnyone.com. Time for this week's Tuesday video. As you probably know, every Tuesday a brand new video out for you. And this week I want to talk about the benefits of knowing martial arts or some kind of self-defense system or moves and how that can help you. There are benefits to this, of course, especially for investigators. And I know a lot of loss prevention people watch these, and you're making apprehensions and physically detaining people sometimes. And you know, the benefits of knowing martial arts, number one, whether you're an investigator, loss prevention, combination of both, whatever, is there's a confidence that comes with it. Knowing that you can take care of yourself, you can handle the situation, means you don't have to approach it as tersely and as harshly. And you can start out a little bit softer, a little bit nicer, and maybe get compliance that way, rather than having to pretend like you're some kind of bad guy, bad boy, you know, and that you're just going to crush them if you need to, faking it, which escalates the situation. But knowing that you can handle the situation is something that it gives you that confidence and allows you to project that authority and confidence. It's going to help you do the job. Be it interviewing someone in a neighborhood you're not comfortable with, and making that apprehension, whatever it might be. Now, another real benefit to knowing some kind of martial arts is just the knowledge of what can be done, what's possible, what's capable. And this is very, very helpful because, you know, I have a rule of thumb, and this is a rule that will help you keep problems from escalating. When you are approaching someone to make an apprehension, or if you think it is going to get physical, keeping this rule in mind will keep you in check, make sure you don't jump too soon. And the rule is, just presume that the other guy knows everything else you know, plus one more thing. Now, if you think of it that way, you're still going to be able to handle the situation, but you're not just going to jump in like you own this situation. You're going to use a certain amount of caution and reasonableness and prudence about whether or not this should turn physical or not. A lot of times you don't have the choice. A lot of times they take the initiative and they've turned it into something physical. But for an apprehension, example for our loss prevention people, you know, this is the type of thing where you sometimes have to physically restrain them. There's no other way around it. And it still is their choice, although they may be trying to flee rather than so much attack you. Two basic, I'm not going to talk about what kind of martial arts is best or whatever. I'm going to tell you a couple of rules of thumbs. If you're talking about an opponent, multiple opponents coming at you, you generally want to stay upright. Kind of your kicking and striking type of martial arts. You don't want to necessarily go to the ground where it's 2-on-1, 3-on-1, more than that. Another rule of thumb is if the person is bigger or stronger than you, you generally want to stay upright. You don't want to let them use that weight or strength advantage against you on the ground. Now, having said that, all fights go to the ground quickly. It's just the way it is. So when you're going to need to know some ground skills as well. So when you pick your style of martial arts, if you decide to do this, you want one that kind of has that combination of upright striking, kicking, and on the ground. Now, as loss prevention, or if you're trying to just plain make an apprehension, the striking, kicking is not so important to you, because apprehending is not about fighting them or beating them up. Apprehending is about keeping them, preventing them from fleeing, which involves more of your holds and your grappling, that type of thing. Now, if you follow that rule of thumb, that'll help you out quite a bit. Many people are fascinated by, like the movies, the Rambo type characters who are just a tremendous fighting abilities, the Bourne Identity, that kind of thing. Or even like a Jedi type thing where they have this power, this force that they can pull on and do these remarkable and amazing things. Or if you watch educational television, maybe you've even seen monks that can withstand the cold. They go out in the cold and they sleep overnight with just a wrap around them, and they're able to generate the body heat to fight off the cold. And, you know, we're fascinated by that kind of freedom, to just be able to do, approach who we want to approach, go where we want to go. That level of freedom is very attractive. And I want to tell you a little bit about where that freedom comes from. It comes from discipline, and they just never show you this in the movies. If they do, it's a very little condensed like montage of the person training, but it's a discipline that the person has to every day, to all the time, be practicing the constraint, the self-control, to be doing the hard work it takes to get to that level where they have the freedom. I'll give you an example of like basketball players, say Michael Jordan, for example, who the whole world knows. This guy can play with complete freedom. He can go where he wants on the court. He can shoot from where he wants to shoot. He can fly on the court. He has complete freedom to play the game, however he would like to play it. But he doesn't get it from just doing whatever he wants to do. He has the self-discipline and the control during practice to practice shot after shot from different spots on the floor. The practice and discipline of holding his elbows like they're supposed to be, of moving the way he's supposed to move. And by practicing and having that just thousands and tens of thousands of hours of discipline gives him that freedom. And you can have that kind of thing too with your life, whatever you do. Practice that self-control, practice the discipline, practice the fundamentals of your trade craft, investigations, so that when you get out into the field, you have a freedom. If you're going out to interview somebody and the situation changes, or you see something on their shelf that you think you can use to build rapport and move in, you're able to move and flow with that, and you have the freedom to change your pretext at the last minute to get the information you need. This is a little bit more heady type stuff, theoretical type stuff. It'll serve you well if you understand what I'm saying and you incorporate it into your life. Next Tuesday, I will give you a very practical tip on making an apprehension. I will look through some of my experiences and find a common reoccurring problem that I see with apprehensions, and and tell you how I found to solve it. So next Tuesday, show back up, and I promise you I'll have that nice thing for you there. This is Larry K, ShadowAnyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.